everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. What an awesome day. This is, the call today is about awakening the Elder Millennium. It's Venus Retrograde, and Nidhu says that's something to be excited about. The one secret you cannot afford to ignore anymore. That's going to be revealed in today's call today. It is really, really exciting. Our special guest speaker is Nidhu Kapoor, one of our, I just adore this woman. First of all, her voice is so beautiful, it calms you immediately. And then the energy she brings is just phenomenal. If you have not heard Nidhu before on our summit, you have missed big time, because every time it's amazing information. And one of the things I just love about Nidhu is, even though I have interviewed hundreds of energy healers from around the world, she manages to bring information and healing techniques that I have never heard of or seen before. Every time it's something new. Her clearing decree statements that she brought for us last time were so deceptively simple, you thought, this just cannot possibly work. Yet they work more profoundly than a lot of very engaging and in-depth kind of energy healing work that I have seen in the past. Her decrees would take a second or two to really say, and the results were just phenomenal. And myself, everybody was so excited about it. And today she's bringing even more exciting information. As if, just when you think, okay, she cannot top what she did last time, she comes back and it's like, oh my goodness, how was I living without this information? That's the kind of stuff she's going to be talking about today. So if you resonate with any of these following, 5 symptoms or conditions that I'm going to mention, and I can't imagine anybody not having at least one of these, this call is extremely important for you to hear. Hear this, life-changing, and you will know why. Number 1, you cannot stand your mother. She is your biggest trigger. Is that true for you? As a mother, you are riddled with guilt and worry about your child. Yes, that's me. Number 3, you are constantly chasing the ideal man. Yep, that's me too. But settling for any man that pays you attention. You then change who you are and what your authentic truth is to make the relationship stick. Oh my goodness, that's a big one. Number 4, you suffer from migraines, chronic anxiety, adrenal fatigue, or IBS. Number 5, as a woman and mother, you put the husband or man above everything else and cannot ask for what you want because you are constantly trying to make sure that he feels good. That definitely used to be me. Basically, you're not even on your own. You are not even on your own list of priorities, but you keep hoping you will be valued and appreciated. Heartbreaking, but that's definitely who I used to be, and I know many of you are in this space right now. So this call is so, so, so important for you, my dear women and men, those that are in touch with their feminine side. And Nidhu says those are the men that are going to be listening to the call. So if you are listening to the call, this applies to you for sure. Why I'm excited? Because you are going to find information today I guarantee most of you have never heard before. Why these symptoms, if any single one of them applied to you, why you've had these. These are patterns that go generations back. You're going to find out why and what to do about them finally. Solution is here, and it is easy, guys. It is so amazing. I'm so excited because this is life-changing stuff. It is easy because if you've worked with Nidhu before, you know not only are her results phenomenal, she doesn't make it hard. It's hard is not fun. So briefly, for you guys that haven't heard Nidhu before, something of a retrograde specialist, Nidhu Kapoor works with the energies of the planets to bring about deep learnings and releases. Master healer and master teacher, her group workshops pack in many extraordinary revelations, deep insights, and a strong bond between each participant. Whatever you signed up for, you'll get a little bit more. Her unique processes include the fastest healing process in the world, the Saturn decrees, which I just talked about a little while ago, and they definitely are the fastest healing processes in the world, you guys. I've experienced them. They work. S-Stars, the communication series, guaranteed to change family dynamics for the better, multidimensional work, inner parenting, and a free-spirited take on mudras and meridians. Most people work with her over large periods of time because it is easy to get hooked onto the fun of healing with her. She's also one of the few people in the world working on healing the relationships with our parents, and this year she brings that to our table. Nidhu, welcome back, my dear. I am so super excited to have you with us today.
Thank you, Aram. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Aram. Thank you. Always such
you
a
are
joy
so welcome.
to be here.
Yes, it is a pleasure to be in this amazing space with you again. Now, there are quite a few things here that you are one of the only people in the world who's doing this, but there's something that you are actually the only person in the world who's doing it. What's that?
Well, there is a lot of work that's available around the inner child. But one of the things that's always been overlooked with the inner child, and in fact it is a huge gap in working with the inner child, is the absence of the inner parent. When we're working with the inner child, which is wanting to bring about the nourishment, the nutrition, the love, the care, the safety, the protection that the child has not had, we find ways for the adult to feel better, because all of us work like this in our lives. We have the inner child and we have the outer adult. Between the two, we've left out the importance of awakening the inner parent as well. I have come across this question so many times, Aram, which is, but I feel like this. So how am I going to give myself this love? How am I going to value myself? How am I going to feel better about myself? Because for the inner child, the desire is that the parents show up and take care. And therefore, we constantly keep playing and replaying this old record where we seek out people who have the maximum matching frequency of our parents in the hope that finally it will happen for us. Finally, we will get what we want. And we all know the answer to that one. It never works like that, because the healing of the inner child requires the presence, the development, and nurturing of the inner parent, and nobody in the world is doing that. And within the inner parenting work is the work that we're going to talk about more today around. There is nobody else in the world doing that as well.
That is profound, Nidhu. I have never heard of this before, and you're absolutely right. The absence of the inner parent is huge. Now that, of course, you mentioned it, it just clicked into place. Like, yes, that is absolutely profound.
Right. In fact, I do want to pay a tribute to the processes that are in place that do this work. There's family constellations. That is Bert Hellinger's. He's the one who founded it. There's Louise Hayes' work, and there is a segment within Louise Hayes' work that has to do with working with the inner child. There's Dr. Janice Webb. She does some fantastic work around the child. But this part, this presence and growth of the inner parent, this nobody is doing. And in our work, and Aram, as I was sharing with you, healing is a journey. And the journey begins first with wanting what we want and recognizing that we might be stuck. Most people show up around money or a chronic health issue. Once in a while, somebody around relationships show up. But I think relationships get a lot of support from other traditional works like psychology and counselors. Businesses get a lot of support from life coaches and mentors. But the healing journey really begins around money and the body, which is, can you heal me? Can you make this work? From there, we go on to understanding that, hey, I'm stuck. And as we walk through it deeper and deeper, we start understanding how everything came from home. Home being our family, especially between the ages of 0 to 8, which is where all of our programs got fixed and locked down. And what I'm going to share on the call today, Ram, is that actually it's not even the 0 to 8 age. It goes before that. The lockdown actually begins in the womb. In fact, but I'm so sorry, I was talking about the healing journey. And as we understand this, we get to a point where we see that everything in our lives is a replication of the relationship between us and our father, us and our mother, and between the mother and the father. Because the body is programmed to be mother and father. The left side of the body, the back of the body, the lower half of the body is the mother. The right side, top of the body, front of the body is the father. The way our mothers and fathers have been together is how our body parts are reacting to each other. The difference between heart and head, the difference between intention and action, all of this has already been decided for us with the way our mothers have been with our fathers and our fathers have been with our mothers. There is no way to break out of this pattern until we heal it. And in that healing, while
Can I interrupt you very quickly,
please,
Nidhu?
Please.
One question that comes to mind is, you're talking about how the father has been to the mother has been to the father. Are you also talking about behaviors that the child may not be consciously aware of, even into their adulthood? This is stuff happening on subconscious levels between the mother and father also. Okay, thank you. Just wanted to clarify.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Because
why I asked that question, I'm sorry to interrupt, is because I work passionately with domestic violence victims, and a lot of times the victims continue to stay in abusive marriages because they think it is good for the children. They don't want to break up the family. And what you're saying is profound, that what the children are actually taking on a lot more pain because of the dynamics happening between the mother and the father. Even if they do their utmost best to hide it from the children, they are still getting it from them. And they've gotten it in the womb already.
Absolutely correct.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
In fact, I want to give you a story here, Aram. One of the things that's not so much fun on the work that we all do together when we work together is that there is some of these truths are harsh and hard. And I want to give you a story here from the time of Akbar, where Akbar and Birbal are these two books that have been immortalized in our comics, because Akbar was this fantastic Mughal emperor, and he had these 9 gems in his court, out of which his minister, Birbal, was one of them, because Birbal was supposed to be the most intelligent man alive. He always had a fair solution. Birbal was like the Solomon in Akbar's court. And one morning, Akbar was playing with his grandchild and so happy that he was spending time with him. He came to court in this good mood, and everybody noticed that he was in this good mood. And Akbar sat down and he said, "There is nothing bigger than the love of a grandchild. or a child. And instantly Birbal got up and stepped forward and said, Jahapana, I beg to differ. And of course, Akbar got very upset. In fact, all stories normally take place like that, where Akbar says, I don't agree, and then Birbal sets out to prove it. So Birbal says, here's what they're going to do. They get a monkey, mother, and child. And you've seen how monkeys are, right? Their children cling to them. The mother carries them everywhere. And they put the mother and the child clinging together in an empty fountain. And no animals were harmed in the making of this story, so please everybody bear with me. They start filling up the fountain, and the water level starts rising. As the water level starts rising, the monkey moves, the mother monkey with the child, moves to a safer, slightly higher place because the fountain has layers. The water keeps rising, the mother keeps rising. Finally, the water starts coming up above the mother monkey's chest. She puts the child on her shoulder. And immediately Akbar turns to Birbal and says, see, I told you, there is nothing more important than the child or the grandchild. And Birbal says, hang on, wait. The water keeps rising. As the water starts rising towards the mother's nose, for a moment, the mother puts the child on the head. As the water rises a little bit more, the mother flings the child out, scrambles to the side of the wall to safety. Birbal's point was that the thing that is most important to us is our lives. When a mother makes a decision to stay because it's for the child, it's actually because it's serving something for the mother. And chances are that what it's serving for the mother is exactly that parroting and mimicking of behavior she saw at home. In families that have carried abuse and the mother has not separated, or if the father was being abused and the father has not separated, the child learns to stay. And it is very difficult to go against family paradigms because family paradigms come to us from a very, very old understanding of how tribes work. And the way tribes worked was that it was the only way to stay alive if you followed the tribe's laws. Because we've come from a time where only the presence of a group meant that we had the safety and security of food, shelter, and clothing. All of us would come from a time where we were nomads, where we didn't understand things like houses, where as a group we moved from region to region depending on the season. If we didn't follow what the tribe had to say, the tribe could leave us behind, and that was sure death. And death is the one thing that we will all find a way to avoid. We will live till our last nano breath. So a program of the family is stored in our limbic brain, which means it activates the fear of life and death if I do something that's against the family. So even if my left brain is saying something that is diametrically opposite to what my right brain is saying, because there has been separation between my mother and father, even though they may have stayed in the same house, I will somehow struggle my way through life with this sense of fragmentation inside me. But I will manage and I will not disobey the tribe. In fact, apart from not disobeying the tribe, because what I'm about to share with everybody today goes a little deeper than that understanding. There's actually a set of people that we won't disobey in the tribe. May I go on, Eram?
Please. I want to just make a quick, this is so interesting. I'm just holding my breath listening to you, as are many, many of our listeners. Guys, please send me your questions because we understand this is a very deep subject and a lot of you guys might have a little bit of a problem integrating this information. Please know it's okay. Some of you may need to listen to the call a few times because the subconscious blocks the information it doesn't want to hear. If there's a lot of change that is expected from this, it's going to just block it. So it's okay if some of you are just feeling like, I just went blank. What happened? I just went blank. It's okay. Just know that it's working. So, please go ahead, Nidhu.
And thank you so much for that, Aram. You said it so wonderfully. That's exactly what is going on. I'm going to tell you all one more story. This time, it's a story from our biggest battle, which is the Mahabharata. And in the Mahabharata, there were two people who played a very big role. And this was Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the families of the Kauravas and the Pandavas, which is the story of almost every successful movie ever, which is the triumph of good over the bad, the triumph of good over evil. The Pandavas and the Kauravas at war in the Mahabharata gave rise to an entire set of stories that have served us to understand life. These stories are part of our Puranas, and Puranas are like our Bible. So you know how the Bible is, right? They're parables. Each one of us understands within the parable. So I want to tell you the story of Abhimanyu. And Abhimanyu was the son of Arjuna. Arjuna and Lord Krishna were the biggest, most powerful warriors ever possible. And Arjuna married Krishna's sister, which is Subhadra. It's okay if you don't remember the names. And one day, Subhadra, while pregnant, stepped out with Arjuna, her husband. And she was telling him, talk to me, tell me a little bit more. I just want to sit here and listen to you. And Arjuna, being Arjuna, and of course being a guy as well, he wanted to speak about what he did best, which is this whole warriorness. So he started telling her about a very complex and, in fact, a deadly military formation called Chakra View. Chakra meaning circle and view meaning formation. And as he was telling her this, she started yawning. She started feeling sleepy. And you know how it is, right? We've all done this. We've all done this with partners that we love very much. We do our best to be fully present and available. So she kept trying to stay up and listen. And Arjuna could see that she was getting a little sleepy. So he started hurrying up the story. Basically, in the Chakra View, there is a way to get in and a way to get out. Because it's one of the deadliest military formations, it is also used in offense or defense. By the time he explained to her how intricate the process was and what could be done to get into the Chakra View, she fell asleep. So he, being the good man, loving husband that he was, he just sat there with her till she woke up, and then they came back from their little sojourn in the woods. He never got to tell her how to come out of the Chakra View, and obviously she never asked again. The one person who was listening at that time was the baby in the womb. Abhimanyu, years later, himself a great warrior, showed up at the time of the battle of the Mahabharata. At a time when his father was not there because he was battling at another end, he saw that the opposite army, the Kauravas, were forming the Chakra View. knowing fully well how to get in, but not how to get out, he went in. The story ends tragically. It is one of the saddest stories that we have, along with the story of Karna. For a moment, I just want you to park this aside, because the point of that story was, of course, to talk about the greatness of being a warrior, but also about the power of an unborn child in the womb to take on all of these instructions where a military formation made sense.
Wow.
This is part
this
one.
Is amazing. Yeah.
Isn't this around the next part? And I'm going to join all of this together. The next part is where I'd like us to say hello to our genes. And all of us would remember this from very, very basic fundamental biology, where the woman chromosomes are XX and the man's chromosomes are XY. Here's where I want you to pay a little bit more attention. The XX means girl. The XY means boy. In fact, the Y chromosome only carries instructions to be a boy. How should a boy be? How should his growth be? How should his organ development be? Those are the only instructions the Y chromosome carries. The X chromosome carries 10 times more information. And while 10 times more may not seem like such a big number, in genetic language, it is the difference between a city and a country.
Yeah.
Okay. The way the XX happens is like this. I get, as a girl, 1X from my mother, and I get 1X from my father, who got it from his mother. Because the Y chromosome, which carries the message for masculinity and manhood, is only transferred from father to son. So the XY in the boy is the X from the mother,
coming from his mother,
and the and the Y from his father, which means I am carrying two mothers, because I am carrying an instruction from my mother, and I'm not carrying an instruction from my father because I don't have the Y chromosome. I am carrying instructions from his mother.
His mother. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so on and so forth. And my mother was carrying the instructions from her mother and her father's mother.
Father's mother. Yep, absolutely.
At the same time, in Native American medicine and in ancient Indian wisdom, we all speak about the importance of 7 generations. In fact, we have Bollywood movies that have really used this everywhere possible, where you want to be together for 7 births, where you've already been together for 7 lifetimes. But this word, this 7th generation principle, has a lot to do with how the tribe used to function, where the tribe made rules and laws so that the next 7 generations would have ease. You know, so once in a while, and some people say this in Hindi as well, that I want to do so much and I want to earn so much that the next 7 generations of my family don't have to work. But always 7 generations, because Native Americans who live by this principle, ancient Indian wisdom tells us that the DNA is handed down exactly the way it is through 7 generations. 7 generations backwards, and obviously 7 generations forward, because I am also the beginning of the next set of 7 generations.
That's true. Absolutely. Wow.
But remember what I said about the mother and being a girl. It's not so much the 7 generations as generations. It's 7 generations of mothers on both the mother's side as well as the father's side. My DNA is the exact replica and messages and programs of 7 generations of mothers. And in my family, my father's elder brother's wives were all called Bari Mama. Bari, it means big or elder, and Mama is mother. And in fact, our grandmother was also called Bari Mama. So you can imagine the kind of chaos that would take place at family functions. Because, one child would say, Bari Mama, and everybody would say, coming,
Wow, that is amazing. Yeah. Nidhu, this is so fascinating. I'm loving every moment of this, and we're actually more than 30 minutes into our call. I wish we didn't have such restrictive timing. I would love for you to now tie this with, because we are in Venus retrograde, which is incredibly powerful. How does this apply to us right now? All this wonderful information you have shared regarding the mother and the Venus retrograde, are they connected? If so, what's going on?
Absolutely and completely. And I'm going to make it very simple. Venus is about the mother. The womb carries the chakra view of 7 generations of elder mothers. We are all Abhimanyus, and we're all stuck in that chakra view because all of us were told how to get in, but we were not told how to come out. At the same time, the 7 elder mothers, of which one of them is our mother, the 7 elder mothers not just gave us our programs for everything that's going on in our lives, but also gave us the sum total of all their hopes, desires, and dreams, their hopes for romance, their hopes for luxury, for travel, their hopes to be with and be loved by a beautiful, good man, their hopes to be prime minister. Everything that we are going through that we want have to do with the 7 elder mothers. And all of this was given to us in our womb. As we go forward, the relationship with the women in our lives, that's our girlfriends and our sisters, the relationship with our female neighbors, the relationships with our female bosses, the relationship with our mother. This is going to show up stronger and stronger. If you think your mother has been triggering you so far, wait till another few weeks have gone by, because she holds a very important position in the Venus retrograde. The thing is that the 7 elder mothers, having brought us into the chakra view, having told us that I want you to do everything that you want to do, that love, that body, that money, that job, that profession, whatever it is coming to us from our elder mothers as well. At the same time, this particular treasure of possibilities and promises was given a defense soldier, a gatekeeper. And the gatekeeper and the defense soldier chosen is always the last in the 7th generation. So if you've understood everything I've said so far, what I'm saying is you will be in battle with your mother, because she is the defense soldier. She is the jailer. She is the gatekeeper of everything that the Severn Elder Mothers have brought. And in fact, Aram, if this is the correct time, we could begin a group process that allows for everybody to feel this a little deeper.
I would love that, and let me just make sure. I was waiting for everybody to get on the call because some people join in a little bit later on. So let me just make sure we have plenty of people. And then you had also, in the announcement, is this the one we're going to use the candles?
That's correct. And now
okay,
you know why.
Great.
The 7 candles are for the 7 Elder Mothers.
Makes perfect sense. Yes, now we know why. And I want to just make a quick announcement, Nidhu, because some people just joined us. So, guys, I see some hands raised. I am actually going to lower all hands right now. So I've lowered everybody's hands. No one's hand is raised right now because I want you to know really mindfully what we're doing today. I've noticed some people just habitually come and raise their hand, which is great for regular calls. But today I really want you to mindfully ask these questions. Number one, if you have any question regarding what Nidhu has been talking about today, or number two, regarding the process, if you have feedback after the process or a question, you can raise your hand. Number three, if you have any issues with relationships, in romantic relationships or issues with your mother, that you would like Nidhu to take a look at. Remember, she's a master healer. She can move energy very, very quickly. So if you have any of these three going on, please raise your hand. I would love to hear from you and have you connect with Nidhu. The way to raise your hand is by pressing *2. If you are on the webcast, I encourage you to go on the phone lines, and that's the only way you can be placed in the queue, okay? So here we go. Over to you, Nidhu. I'm going to put myself on mute, and we will do this amazing group process.
Thank you, Aram. The group process is twofold. First, I would like you to light your candles. If you've already lit your candles, that's okay. I want you to take a look at each and every one of them, the first one being your mother, and moving backward 7 generations. You look at one candle, think of your mother. When you look at the other one, you think you are your mother, as in the first candle's mother. Infuse the candle with an energy of the mother going back 7 generations. As you do this, and you can hold this and say, this is for my mother, this is for my grandmother, this is for my great-grandmother, this is for my great-great-grandmother, and so on, the 7 times. While you're doing this, I would like to give you the prayer for the elder millennials, and we will talk about that as well going forward once we've completed the second part of the group process. My dear mother and elder mothers, I know now that I am the chosen one. You all have given me the responsibility to change your stories. I know you have suffered and been in pain because I have suffered in the exact same way. But in this year, you have let me know that this suffering can and must end. And a new story of Abhimanyu, of love, acceptance, value, and worth is to be rewritten the way I want it rewritten. Help me do this for me and my next 7 generations. Show me the way, and I will walk it. I will remember at the same time your story with love and compassion as the warriors and heroines who came before me, and I will put new oil in our old torch for a new light for all who come after me. I am the proud torch bearer now. I am the proud elder millennial now. Thank you for choosing me. I'm going to give you all another 30 seconds to finish lighting the candles. Once you've lit them, have some water, sit down, get comfortable, spine straight, close your eyes, and see yourself in the labyrinth. Most of us understand the labyrinth and maze as a garden. However you see this, it is correct for you. Having seen yourself in this labyrinth, this chakra view, this maze, I want you to zoom out and now see yourself in the chakra view. You are now witnessing yourself in the labyrinth. From this height, you can see the way out of the labyrinth. In the labyrinth, there is a backpack that you are carrying. Maybe it's next to your feet. Maybe it's on your back. Maybe it's a big basket on your head. Check what it is that you are carrying. Put it down. You are seeing yourself do all this. And then start running out of the labyrinth. You know exactly where to go because you outside is guiding the you inside. By the time you reach out of the labyrinth and step out, you should be greeted with light, fresh air, sunshine, a magical garden, or another place of peace. In this place, as you move ahead, you see the outlines of a door. You walk through that door. By the time you walk through that door, you may have ended up in different clothes. Whatever is happening for you over here, watch it for a few seconds and then leave yourself there and come back into your body through the belly button. I'm going to give you 1 minute of silence to recover. And as you stay here, I'm going to remind you of what has already been shared. That the secret to healing that has been staring at us right in the face and that we cannot ignore anymore and cannot and will not be allowed to ignore in the Venus retrograde is that if we don't clear the chakra view in the womb, we cannot release the Severn Elder Mothers' potential and blessings. And then, if we cannot heal the relationship with our mother, who is the defense soldier of these possibilities, then something will always be missing. Our healing will stay incomplete. We fight with our mothers because we know the truth of our Severn Elder Mothers and the fact that without knowing how we knew that our mother wouldn't let us have it easily. Open your eyes, have some water, tell me how you're doing, and let's take this group process a little deeper with some individual work. Hey Ram, how are you doing?
Wow. Incredible. Just incredible, Nidhu. This is so awesome, but I don't want to take the time up for myself because I want to open this up for our listeners. We have 15 people, and I know some people are probably just still in the process. So as you guys come out of it, you're welcome to raise your hand by pressing *2. Can you pick a number for me, please, Nidhu?
6, which is the number of Venus, just by the way.
Yeah, beautiful. 474 area code. 474. Okay. Seems like they are still in the process. I'm just going to move on to the next one, which is 306 area code. 306.
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
Hi.
Hi, this is Tracy.
Hello, Tracy.
Hi,
Did you do the process just now?
I sure did.
Awesome.
I felt
Did you want to share some feedback or?
Well, I would really just like to talk about my mother.
Go ahead.
If that's
Absolutely.
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, my mom left us kids when we were quite young with my mom and dad. And I still don't know if she's with us or not with us. And through our relationship, she tended to tell me things just to appease me. So I have a really hard issue trusting people. I just feel like they're telling me what they think I would like to hear and not truth.
Right. Are you looking at doing some work around trust?
Yes, please.
Tell me again about your mother. I missed about the first 1.5 sentences.
Oh, all right. She left us all. She actually went away for a weekend and she just never came back. And I had a little bit of a relationship with her at one point, but she told some people that all her children have died. There's 4 of us, my siblings, and that we all died in a fire, which is not true. And she used to tell us when we were little, things just so that we wouldn't question her. I guess she would tell us stories and just tell us things that really weren't true. And she left us alone a lot. She would take us places and leave us alone.
I understand. I understand. First, I also want you to tell me, Tracy, do you see how you may be doing this in your relationship?
Yes. I tend to just not live in the present.
Because we live in stories when stories are easier, and stories are, of course, one way to make sense of life. I'm very sorry about the lies of a story that had to do with you. So I would say the distrust is twofold. One is the way she was with you and your siblings, and the other is the fact that she left. Because I'm just going to take you back to Abhimanyu's story, which is just invariably plays itself out. in the 6th circle, because the chakra view is 7 circles, in the 6th circle, the army actually ambushed him. Maybe he could have still figured a way out. And what that has meant for all of us coming down is there's invariably one story of abandonment and one story of betrayal. And I think that in what your mother did, she's actually given you both stories. There is the leaving and there is the behaving with you a certain way. Normally what we would do is have you speak about this story a little bit more, because stories must be heard. Otherwise, you will keep saying them to yourself over and over again. Since we're going to do only a demonstration, how would you feel better right now? What would make you feel better right now? How would you know this in your mind or in your body? Like, what about you would ease up if we did this demonstration? When we do this demonstration right now.
Well, I think I would just allow myself to feel more. To feel close to someone.
And right now, would that mean that you would feel a little less hurt, that your lungs would breathe a little better?
Yes.
All right. I am going to go for that. I want to give you, first of all, the most basic of the decrees. So just repeat after me.
Okay.
Distrust.
Distrust.
You can leave now.
You can leave now.
And it works in seconds. So even if you're shifting, Tracy, can I ask you how you're doing?
Yeah,
any reaction at all?
Yeah. I am so hot.
And hot.
I'm hot. Like
fantastic.
Temperature hot. Yeah, like it feels
nice.
like something's just letting go.
Good. Where is this hot? Where do you feel this hot? Is it around the face, the back, legs, arms?
It's my back.
So on a scale of 0 to 100 trillion, because 100 trillion is the number of cells in the body. And the number of cells in the body are the cells that were formed in the womb. So when we work with this gigantic number, and just by the way, whatever number comes to your head is fine, that is also part of us clearing what took place in the womb. Whatever Severn Elder Mothers stories it was that your mother was carrying forward, this will also clear that. So on a scale of 0 to 100 trillion, how much is the heat or the hot in the body right now?
I would probably say 50 trillion.
And we will go with 50 trillion. Before I give you that decree, how are you feeling around the distrust?
Well, I feel like there's space there now, but it doesn't feel
Good.
so around me. It feels like it's moved away.
Excellent. Here is how you're going to use the decree for the womb clearing. You're going to say hot. And you say hot.
Hot.
And is that still the correct word? Would you like to change the word from hot to something else?
No, well, I just have this sensation, and it's now moving through, like it's down in my legs now. So it's just going through my body. It's just a sensation of movement.
Excellent. So it's not hot anymore?
No, it feels like, I don't know, like something being put into water and it's expanding. Like the only thing that comes to my mind right now. It feels, yeah.
Nice. Those are your meridians opening up. Years and years of Gunkin Gook releasing. So this is very nicely done, Tracy, because you are still shifting and shifting very tangibly. So you can continue this. You can just be with yourself, drink lots and lots of water.
Okay.
And
well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and just by the way,
thank
you. The decree
Awesome.
works for the rest of your life.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
It's just that awareness doesn't.
Very, very powerful.
Beautiful.
I have so many questions, Nidhu. We still haven't covered some of those. And some people are asking, do we leave the candles burning?
Yes, please. You're going to leave the candles burning for as long as they burn. If you have to step out because you've chosen a big candle, if you have to step out, please use a candle snuffer or the back of a plate or the back of a spoon. Don't use your breath. And when you come back, relight the candle because the candle must finish.
Okay. Okay, beautiful. Thank you for clarifying. Go ahead, Nidhu.
Shall we take a look at one more person?
I would love to, but I do have a question I wanted to ask here because we were talking about the importance of the Venus retrograde. One of the questions that somebody asked, and this was something I wanted to ask also, is can we postpone this work to the next retrograde? Why is it important to do it this time?
It's an excellent question. You can, of course, postpone it. And let me also say this. In retrogrades, we're really not given much of a choice because that's the whole point of a retrograde, where we are forced to look at what's coming up. This year, 2018, which belongs to the throat, which belongs to the small intestine, followed the Saturn retrograde. I'm so sorry, 2018 didn't follow that. The Venus retrograde followed the Saturn retrograde, which means that a lot of karma and karma clearing was already done and being done in the first half of the year. Remember what I said about working with the mother? Or did I say it? Or did I not say it? So sorry, Aram. I think when we were chatting, I brought it up. The thing is, it's not easy to work with the mother. The mother is the source of food, and she is the source of life. She is God. Whether or not we see her as God, each one of us either wants to be completely like her or nothing like her. Either we want to make sure that we are never far away from her, or we want only to be far away from her. She is not the easiest human to deal with. Because a part of us knows this, that if I'm going to go against my mother, if I'm going to change things, because that's what healing is, and if you will all get the free gift, the PDF, which is the 6 Steps of Healing, you will see this. You will see that that healing is all about change. And none of us really wants to change how we think about God. And God herself does not want this change. I'll also say one more thing. You know, it's easier to work with what's happening with the Father for every one of us. Because the Father, while as important, because he's also part of the understanding of God, because between the mother and father, they give us everything that we need to live. The Father is always treated a little differently because when we look at the Father and we know his story, all of us make allowances for that story. Oh, my father went through this, or he was that, oh, he drinks a lot, oh, he was like this, oh, he's a gambler, but you know, his life was so hard, he had a childhood like that. Even when we know our mother's story, we don't have the same sense of compassion. Because it's very hard for us to take a look at our mothers and see them beyond the mothers, because obviously the mother is human, and she was also somebody's daughter and somebody's sister and somebody's wife and sister-in-law. My point is, in 2018, because of the Saturn retrograde that came before, it became easier to do the work with the mother right now. The next time the Venus retrograde comes about, it's going to be in early 2020. And what that's going to do for us is make it harder if we don't do at least some work right now, because next year is the year of Jupiter, meaning it is the year of expansion. It's the year of growth. And because the mother and the elder mothers, remember there are 7, and 7 also corresponds with the 7 major chakras. Beginning with the root chakra that comes to us from the mother, what we want is this foundation to be reset in these 5 months. So that when Jupiter is doing his work, because Jupiter is the planet of expansion. He's, the laughing Buddha, that's Jupiter. Big belly, big bag of money, lots of kids around. He loves his food. He's very indulgent. We want that sense of abundance, and we will only get it if we've begun to do some of the resetting of the foundation this year. In 2020, the year which begins with the Venus retrograde does not have the advantage of the throat energies that 2018 had. Have you all noticed you all are speaking up more in relationships? Have you noticed that you're asking a little bit more in relationships? This is also part of Venus retrograde, but it's also part of the energies of 2018. I remember at the golden, what's that award, Iram? They're the Golden Globes, right?
Golden Globe?
The Golden Globes. The Golden Globes. I remember there was a director who spoke about the fact that somehow I'm finding it possible only to do these serials where women are speaking up. That it's all about the woman's story. And even with the Saturn retrograde, which had to do, by the way, with the father. So we were working through the father and gingerly and cautiously making our way to the mother. The Saturn retrograde was really about changing and clearing and cleansing and strengthening ourselves to begin the work with the mother. I also want to say this. It's, if on a daily basis, you can't do mother work. Like you can do money work on a daily basis. You can do a handhold on a daily basis. You can do a mudra on a daily basis. You can do some amount of work around the father on a daily basis. You can't do work on a daily basis around the mother. There is a healing dance that happens with the mother because she's God. Because we will not go up against the source of life and food, because our limbic brain is going to get up and say, what are you doing? You are going to die. What are you doing? You are going to get thrown out of the tribe. So even though our tribes may have been patriarchal, because our tribe moved, so the men who have bigger bodies, bigger muscles, more physical strength would have been charged of certain things. These 7 elder mothers would have guaranteed taken decisions on what would happen for the child in the tribe.
So incredibly powerful. Man, it just makes so much sense that why we would not do this on a regular basis unless and until we are forced to, which it seems that the Venus retrograde is forcing us to. But it's all for the growth. And I love you're saying the time is now. It's almost like the planetary energies are aligned. Not only are they encouraging, they're almost forcing us in that direction. Now, on a day-to-day basis, and Nidhu, this has been incredible information. I do want to talk to more people on the phone lines, but there's a couple of things I want to address first. So number one, on a day-to-day basis, what does this mean for people? Like, we have this amazing offer that you have brought for our listeners. So if they are to invest in that, on a day-to-day basis, what does that mean? What are the changes that they can expect? What are they going to be receiving in benefits and results?
Well, first with package A itself, which is the fundamentals of the decrease, you've seen how Tracy continued. Like in seconds, she was moving from this to the heart to the sensations of movement. There was already space. Imagine working on distrust in 2 minutes. When you are picking up a package, and we will begin with package A, of course. The first, for those of you all who've already done the fundamentals, you will still have a practice call. Not A, sorry. You'll have 8 practice calls. For those of you all who've just seen this for the first time, who probably will try it, can try it on yourselves right now, you will see results on a daily basis because it is the fastest healing process. The amount of changes that I have seen take place in weeks and in months has been absolutely phenomenal. I also want to say this, every healing modality works. It works in various ways and various timelines depending on where you are and how much commitment you are putting in. But the Saturn decrees, these changes that are taking place in weeks and months, bank balances going up, relationships changing, jobs happening, houses that weren't getting rented out, getting rented out. In fact, I remember Jacqueline from Hawaii shared this phenomenal testimonial with us where she saved herself from the hurricane. Because the decree is so simple and because life on a daily basis brings up something or the other, you will be continuously practicing and seeing the shifts for yourself. When we begin to do the mother calls, we will actually be spending quite a bit of time in the Severn Elder Mothers story because it has to be honored. Our ancestors, you can see their power. They're holding everything in their hands. They're not giving it up easily, although after the candle exercise, they will. This kind of work appeases them a lot. They will want their story to be told. Whatever it is that we can remember, because we don't have to remember 7 generations back, because our mother's story is their story, because our story is their story. So we will speak about our story. It's part of another process I do, which is called the communication series, which is absolutely unique to me as well. It takes a little longer than Saturn's decrees. When I say longer, it takes a few minutes more, but so simple, and it's thoroughly enjoyable. If we have time, we will do that on the call today, because I do want to introduce you to the womb clearing decree. There are 2 of them, and I think that you will enjoy them very, very much. But the point is that you will see shifts from the moment you start. I also have a set of 4 weeks of emails that come to you.
So let's actually, what I want to do, Nidhu, what is probably best is let's just go ahead and take a look at your offer page, and let's go over the package so people can really connect with this and understand it, because we are over the hour mark and a lot of people have to go back to work. So let me go ahead and announce the link. We will go over the package, and then again, we are going to take live callers. The rest of the time will be devoted to that. So if you guys have package questions or simply want to talk to Nidhu about these issues that we've been talking about during the call, please make sure you're on the phone lines and raise your hand by pressing *2. Okay. The special offer page link is orderjoynow.com/Nidhu17, NIDHU, and the number 17 on the webcast or the replay. Please press the special offer button. I do want to quickly announce here that this package is right now, it is at a 20% discount. There's an additional discount for the first 30 buyers, and it's discounted at checkout. I saw notifications coming in from last night. This was just blowing up because people wanted to get in. and we've had to increase that again to 30 starting from today. So make sure that you get in now, because this is going to go fast. Nidhu, go ahead and please take over and explain this awesome package so that people can really understand how to, once and for all, not only just get rid of their own issues, but clear it for generations, 7 back, 7 forwards. That's just so cool. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself.
Like Iram said, 7 generations back, 7 generations forward. Even if for not understanding how to use a simple sentence like you can leave now, the womb clearing. The womb clearing is something that I spent time on. I spent days on. I discarded quite a few. I came up with quite a few. It's silent. Both of them are silent. It's just something you will hear at the beginning and towards the end to mark the beginning and the end. But for nothing else, pick up the womb clearing. The womb clearing has the decrees for the 7 elder mothers. They have it across the father's lineage. They have it across the mother's lineage. And whatever it is you could think of, including the ways that we may have been body shamed, including the ways that a lot of us as women and perhaps as men as well carry certain words, when we've been verbally abused, when we've been labeled. The MP3 is silent for that reason as well, just by the way. It carries clearing for words like that as well. It's very deep. In fact, it is recommended that it not be played more than once. One of them is for the night. The other is to be followed in the daytime. If you can complete this within 21 days, I guarantee you, your past will not only be over and done with, your past will be a clean slate. You'll wake up in the morning and not think the way you've been thinking, because you know how it is, right? We wake up in the morning and what has been unfinished from yesterday starts playing itself out, or our to-do list starts playing itself out. What would you do with your life if you had a clean slate? These MP3s will give you that clean slate. I do prepare you for detox symptoms, but again, if you work with me, you will enjoy detox symptoms, because all detox symptoms means you are healing, you are shifting, you are changing, you are transforming, and because you cannot do it alone, you are doing it for your children and you are doing it for your mother. Our ancestors reward us when we do this work. So 7 elder mothers will give you their blessings for this work that you do. The Saturn's decrees have certain ways of being used. In fact, even 8 learning workshops that I have that are right there in package A itself, so you don't have to pick up a bigger package. Even those 8 calls are lesser. Like that's how you can, that's how much you can adapt the Saturn's decrees. And I tell you this, as a fundamental healing modality, it is a must-have in your toolkit, because it is so simple to use. And once you've been on the calls and you've done these practices, and one of these calls is always around money, it is so much fun. It is so much fun to see what all shows up the next day, because one of my other promises always is within 24 to 72 hours, compliments, gifts, treats, savings, opportunities in general. The package B, I recommend for those of you all who've already done the fundamental course with me. And this one as well introduces very gently the healing dance with the mother. So we're still not going all out. That we will do in package C, which is why there are 2 one-on-one sessions with me as part of this package, because we will need that little bit of extra support. There is one one-on-one that is part of package B, and there is one one-on-one which is part of package C. So if you pick up package C, you get 2 one-on-ones. It's a lot of work with me, but I have to tell you that there is a bunch of people already ready to be doing this work. You want to be part of that bunch of people. They are an extraordinary group of men and women who love and care and share. It is amazing to see how they bring up the other, how they uplift each other. We do this on our WhatsApp group. WhatsApp is something that you can download for free. If you don't have it, that's okay. It's not a criteria, but it's one way to stay connected with the group on a daily basis. I also am there as much as possible. So it's this little community, it's this fraternity that's constantly holding hands and walking together. I invite you to be part of that fraternity. If you have any questions around the packages, please do ask me. I also want you to enjoy your PDF, the 6 Myths of Healing You Need to Bust Yesterday, aka my little big book of change, will give you many insights into how healing takes place and may also give you many insights as to how you may have been thinking that is actually in the way of you receiving the wholeness and the fullness of healing, no matter what healing you are receiving. So please do make sure that you spend time with that. Ask me anything around that as well. Oh, and so sorry, Ram, I was gonna call you back. I just want to mention there's a certificate of completion when you do package C. You know, there's a joy to getting a certificate when you've completed a program. And because package C has not just the Saturn's decrees which has been done in package A, but you will also have the right to go ahead, practice, preach, and teach the communication series. And if you've never tried the communication series, inshallah.
Beautiful. I'm going to read this from the special offer page, the Retrograde Promise. I just love this. It says, all retrogrades are potent times for healing and change. They carry a potential for ascension that no other time does. In 2018, almost all the planets have been slated for a retrograde. So you can imagine how we are being pushed. And I know that many of us have, most of us have felt this. This year also carries a deep emotional charge with its energies of the moon and the subconscious and the using of our voices. Whatever you do this year will carry and will see you through 2019. So even if you see limited results this year, keep your head to the grindstone. You will be rewarded for it. I want to repeat it. You will be rewarded for it. Okay? And then Nidhu says, join me and the other elder millennials for the rest of the year to make sure you are supported throughout. And these packages are designed till December 2018. The work of this year will also impact the next 7 years of our lives. So take charge today, guys. This is so, so, so important. I so agree with what Nidhu is saying. This year, it does seem like we are just constantly doing the work, constantly. And the rewards are there. But because the energies are so strong in pushing us towards shifting and changing, it seems like it's just constant exhaustion. It's like, oh my goodness. Yet at the same time, I can tell you from my personal experience that as of, I would say, 2 weeks ago, something just shifted so hugely in my energy that it's just put me on this kind of, I'm on propeller mode now. I'm being pushed so hard, so fast in forward momentum that I can't even hold my breath. It's that fast. It's amazing. So please, please, please make sure you pay attention to this, because this is just such a great opportunity. This is truly where the universe is aligning itself and supporting you. This is truly what we talk about, in The Alchemist. He said, the universe is going to conspire to bring what you desire. It's going to conspire in your favor. That is what is going on. It's conspiring in your favor, although it may not seem like that, but that is what's going on. So if you have been resonating, which I know a lot of you people have been resonating with Nidhu has been talking about, this is just such an amazing offer. Those of you that have worked with Nidhu, I encourage you to please share your experiences so that other people can be encouraged by your experience, and they can also jump in, because I know many of you are just avid followers of Nidhu, which is a testament to her abilities. Everybody just jumps in. Every time Nidhu has an offer, her previous clients will just religiously jump in. We see that all the time. So please speak up. Let the other people gain some inspiration from what you have experienced from this amazing, amazing lady's work. So you have Package A, Package B, and Package C, which Nidhu has already described. Package A is at a 70% discount, Package B is at 78%, and Package C is the best value at 83% discount. And I see people jumping in at all levels. And remember, you have a 20% discount going on right now. So it's 20% off of even this price. And we have payment plans for Package B and C. So really, how can it be any easier than this? There really should be no reason for you to let your ego mind talk you out of this. If you feel deeply that you have been resonating with this, take action. Don't listen to those voices of, doubt and fear. But if you do have doubt and fear, now is the time to communicate that to us. Send it to me in the webcast, or if you're on the phone line, you can ask Nidhu about that also. So really, really great opportunity, guys. Hope everybody takes advantage of it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the callers on the phone line and unmute one of you guys so you can talk to Nidhu. So 16 people with their hands raised now. Pick one number, please. Nidhu, pick number for me, please. Pick one number. Oh, we lost Nidhu. She is not on the call right now. Huh. Okay, I am going to and let her call. So in the meantime.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay, not a problem. Christina, I cannot see the payment plan. Could you please look into that? The payment plan is on the special offer page, Christina. It's right below where it says, it lists the packages, and it says now open 2 payment plan for package B, now open 2 payment plan for package C. However, I am sending your request to Chris, so she can actually assist you with this, okay? So, Nidhu, I had asked for a number, please, so that I can unmute them.
So, 15.
All right, number 15 is 928 area code. Looks like it's Arizona. 928.
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
This is Amy.
Hi, Amy. Do you have a question about the package, about the process, or just your life in general?
I guess it's my life in general. I wanted to know if
go ahead.
There's any correlation between the issues with being adopted and, like you were saying, the wound issues with the biological mother, and then my adopted mother in this life. Like, would that take care of both of those issues?
Oh, it's a wonderful, wonderful question, and I hope that you had a wonderfully loving mother. The thing is, even if the adoption has taken place, you would have still come from the womb. So the 7 elder mothers would still be playing a role in your life. In fact, the 7 elder mothers would have decided that for you to fulfill their potential, and depending on how much you have to fight to fulfill their potential, that it would have served you best if you had another mother. And they would have brought that mother to you. We call that adoption, but the 7 elder mothers are always looking out for us. Some of us have very, very hateful and very angry 7 elder mothers, but they too are willing from 2012 onwards to be set free. They would like to be set free. They would like to set us free. So everything that you are experiencing in your life is the story of your mother. And while I don't think anything can take the place of knowing our mothers physically, I hope that it gives you some succor and comfort to know that because you are her and you are also the other 6 elder mothers, that you are not separate from her. You know her, you live her life, and what she couldn't do, what the 7 elder mothers couldn't do, they need you to do for them now.
So that's why I have the blocks I have. It makes sense.
Absolutely.
I was told she gave me away because she didn't have any money and she couldn't take care of me. So now I'm fine. I'm in a dependent relationship with my husband, and it's repeating still. Every time I try to do something to be financially independent, I get a block. So that makes sense.
Right. And I have to also tell you that the more you have gone through, and a lot of us have gone through hellish experiences, and the more you have gone through, the more your elder mothers want you to let it go, close the door, and write another story. I just today, I think it was Laura, and Laura gave me this phrase, and she said everything is a copy-paste, and I couldn't have said it better. Everything is a copy-paste. There's no space here. There's no extra full stop. It's an exact copy-paste of what your mother would have gone through. So with compassion for her story, while honoring your authentic truth, because you could be very angry with her, and that would also be part of the 7 elder mothers story. And you could be very angry with God for having given you this experience, for feeling abandoned and betrayed so early on in life. While always honoring your authentic truth, you start working on what is going on with the 7 elder mother story. In fact, shall we do a womb clearing for you?
Oh, I would love it. Thank you so much.
Can others participate?
Awesome. Absolutely. Everybody. This is one of the great things about the Saturn decrees. The Saturn decrees, and by the way, this is also one of the calls, and you'll see it deeper in the call. Whatever it is you're going through, and you say a completely different sentence, it will still work. So whatever is your project, whatever is the story, the repetition that is going on, that you know is a repetition because it's happened so many times in your life. And these will show up in how we are in relationships. This will show up in how we are with money. And it will definitely show up with how we treat our bodies and what the body's messages are. So for you, my girl, I did not get your name.
Amy.
Amy.
Yeah.
What? Sorry, I'm so sorry. May I hear it again?
Amy, A-M-Y.
Amy. Right, I did get it. Okay. Amy, what do you think is the one thing you need to clear? You mentioned something about money. Every time you spend the money, does it go away?
It's not that it goes away. It's that I'm having blocks on earning my own and being financially independent myself.
So can I describe it as financial dependency?
Yes, exactly.
What is this financial dependency doing to you? Like, how does it make you feel? Make you feel tight?
It's taking away my power. I feel not as powerful than if I could do it myself.
Wow. So instead of financial dependency, why don't I go with financial powerlessness?
Yes, exactly.
All right. On a scale of 0 to 100 trillion, how much is it?
It's pretty strong. I can't just throw out a number. All I know is how it makes me feel. And it's right in my solar plexus.
Fantastic. So you know what? I'm going to say 100 trillion. Because money is always coming down the Severn Elder Mothers. Chances are it began 7 generations back. So let's go for this one. So you're going to say financial powerlessness.
Financial powerlessness.
You can leave now.
Leave now.
100 trillion times.
100 trillion times.
And that was me waiting for 10 seconds because it takes 10 seconds to work. How is your solar plexus now?
It's better, but as soon as I verbally said that, I felt my throat chakra closing down.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So is the problem financial powerlessness because you are unable to ask for the money? Like you think that if you asked for the money, it would be a way of handing over power, that you would be revealing weakness and vulnerability? That you would rather get the money without asking for it?
I guess it would depend on who I'm asking. If I'm asking the universe, that's one thing, but if I'm asking a person, it's another.
And since you're financially dependent on your husband, could I safely assume that there's trouble asking him?
No, not really. He puts a lot of the responsibility on me, but he sabotages it by overspending.
Okay, so you tell me, what do you think is going on in the throat? How does the throat jam up?
Just sticking up for myself, I guess, verbally. I'm not really sure. If I would know, then I wouldn't be asking you.
I know that's because of the reaction, and we always know why we've had that reaction. So I'm going to give you another understanding of the mother and the throat. We learn to ask and receive from the mother. And both asking and receiving are 2 separate activities. Asking taking place from the throat. Receiving takes place from the left side of the body. Is there anything that takes place in your left side of the body now and then, or has been taking place?
I do have a hard time receiving because it wasn't conditional. I had to do all the giving to receive love.
And after the giving, did you receive it?
No. They were
All
stuck
right.
in their heads. They didn't have their heart chakras open.
Didn't have the heart chakra open, all right? Did not receive love. The throat is also an area of fear. So take a few seconds to respond to what I'm about to say, because it's going to sound a little odd and it's really not logical. So take a few seconds, and here's what I have to say. I say to you that you have the fear of receiving love and money. that it's really not so much what's going on with other people's closed heart chakra, but the fact that the 7 elders from your generation have just had trouble receiving love and money. It's been simpler to be angry and maybe feel resentful about having done all the giving. Would that make sense?
It makes sense about the resentment of receiving, because for some reason when you think of receiving, you think there's a due bill or something on it.
I'm so sorry. When you think of receiving,
you think you owe somebody something in return.
So you feel obligated. And that's part of the block of receiving, just by the way.
Yeah.
Correct. All right. So I'm gonna go with this one. We're gonna do the next womb clearing sentence. By the way, how's your solar plexus feeling now? How's your throat feeling?
A little bit more calmed down, but yes, it's better.
Superb. On a scale of 0 to 100 trillion, how much is the block in receiving?
I would say 100 trillion. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to get to where you're trying to pull me to, but I think I'm getting there. It's just really shocking intellectually to realize that I'm causing this.
Right. Which is actually the first law of attraction, because we don't attract what we want. We attract who we are. So, like I said earlier on the call, there are some harsh truths that you would have to take a look at. And definitely, please do read the 6 myths of healing, because one of them has to do with how we're waiting for other people to change without realizing that it has to do with us. And that actually it's an act of empowerment to realize that it has to do with us, because if it has to do with us, now it's in our control and in our hands to do something about it. We are not now waiting for somebody else to do something. In fact, that is the definition of powerlessness, because then we don't have a choice, because we are waiting for them and they have free will to not give it to us. Okay, going for the next womb clearing sentence. Are you ready, Amy?
Yes.
All right. Would you prefer the word fear or would you prefer the word block?
Fear.
Excellent. Repeat after me. Fear of receiving love and money.
Fear of receiving love and money.
Going back. 7 generations.
7 generations.
Of mothers.
I'm really tearing up when you say that, the generational thing.
It could be. Could also be because when we've not been able to receive very well, we also end up having a lot of chronic unworthiness. So when we start clearing it, that unworthiness also makes us cry a bit, that, hey, maybe I am worthy, that I've been feeling like I should get it, I'm deserving of getting it, because worthiness comes to us from our mothers. Deservingness comes to us from our father, because deserving has to do with the mind and worthiness has to do with the heart. So the sentences:
perfect.
Fear of receiving love and money, going back 7 generations of mothers. On my mother's side. You can. Leave now.
100 trillion times.
100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. 100 trillion times. And I'll give you a little longer to experience a shift on this one, because the next sentence is where we would then do it for our father's side. We don't have to do it because the whole point of today's conversation was to understand the power of the mother, the power of the mother's story, and the power of the mother's story in the womb, which, by the way, also becomes our story when we have children. Tell me what came up.
The worthiness really touched my heart, and I got really emotional on that. And also going back to the 7 generations on all my mothers, just the mother figure in general, the connectiveness of my ancestors just really touched my heart. And I guess being given away for adoption, I was taking that I was not worthy or internalizing that somehow, the effectiveness that, I mean, this seems ridiculous to me. I'm 50 years old. I should be over all this, but it just keeps coming up and up and up all the time. And I'm like, when is it ever going to stop?
Right. And it'll stop now. It'll stop this year. Do this work.
Thank you so much.
Anytime. How is your solar plexus? How is your throat?
My throat is 100% better. I'm still a little nauseous in my stomach, though. But I'm sure that will clear out if I drink some water or something.
It will, because the decrees continue to work on their own. Our awareness stops after a point, but the decrees don't. And nausea, by the way, is another symptom of fear. So somewhere you have the fear of getting what you want, which is also one of the fears that blocks healing, and it is also there in the PDF 6 Myths of Healing. Have a look at that. I think your story will make a lot more sense to you once you read that PDF as well.
Thank you so
Beautiful.
much. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you for doing this.
So
Amy.
many people are,
Thank you.
this is so beautiful. You served in such a beautiful way, Amy. So many people wrote in saying they were feeling the power of this clearing. Nina even said, oh my God, I feel like Amy is me or I am Amy. That is just so powerful because that's what happens when you are in this beautiful space. So, wow, very, very powerful. I wish we had more time. We are running out of time very quickly. Guys, I want to remind you, the offer is at orderjoynow.com/Nidhu, Nidhu, and the number 17. And people are jumping in fast because of the 20% discount offer. So this is your chance to get these amazing, amazing healings also, and different levels that you can invest on. Let's see. Let's quickly take one more caller, and my intention is that, again, this caller would also serve not only to help heal their issues, but also serve the community. All right, so please pick another number for me, Nidhu.
If 24 is possible.
How about I just go to the last one on the list? And that is, this person was catching my eye earlier as well. How cool. I think you're calling from India, if I'm not mistaken. It's a web number, Pratibha. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Pratibha. Can you hear me?
Pranita?
No. Pratibha. Okay, so they're not. A lot of times that's the problem with webcast. We can't hear you, even when it gets muted on its own. So not much we can do there. All right, moving on. 760 area code. I think you just raised your hand. 760.
Oh yes, hello. This is Christina.
Hello, Christina. How are you? Were you the one writing in the webcast also? You sent some questions in the webcast?
No. No, that was not
okay,
me.
cool. All right, so
Okay.
go ahead, please. What is your question?
Okay, so I have a mother that was basically put down by my father the entire time they were married, and it made my mother very powerless and weak, and I feel like a lot of that has reflected onto us in terms of my mother used to have to beg my father for money to be able to support us 7 kids. And I kind of see the same pattern in all my brothers and sisters, and I was just wondering if you could have a look at that for me.
Most certainly. How is the pattern playing itself out for you?
How has it turned out for me?
Yes. You're seeing it in your siblings, but how is it turning out for you?
Well, I feel that financially, it seems to be the same for all my brothers and sisters and myself, that we can't seem to get any further than where we are. It's like I feel restricted in finances, that there's something there holding us back, and I feel pretty good in my love life. I have a great partner, but it's more emotional. I feel like there's emotional wounds that we all seem to go through. People tend to put us down a lot, treat us not very well, and I think that has something to do with it too.
It does. In fact, thank you so much for bringing this up, because there is one more aspect about the mother that I did want to mention, which does have to do with her relationship with the father, that has to do with how then we understand love. First, I want to ask you, Christina, do you end up treating yourself the same way? So if you have any ideas or desires or expectations, do you start putting yourself down? Because this is another way that we mimic the parent relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I start to second guess myself, and then I remind myself that I'm not good enough and I really can't do it, so I just don't end up doing things that I really want to do.
Correct. You see, when we are not attracting a partner who will do to us the same thing that's happened in the womb, then we will do it to ourselves. But the point is that mimicry is continuously going down. So putting ourselves down, self-doubt, you said financially restricted. You would also then be talking yourself out of taking action.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you the clearing. I want to just mention one more thing. Is your partner also having financial restrictedness like you?
Yes.
Awesome. Because somewhere or the other, you will see that either the partner is 100% a mirror of you, or 100% a mirror of the relationship between you and the mother, or you and the father, or between the father and the mother. There is no other dynamic that plays out in relationships. On a good day, that is a day when both of you all are able to communicate, are able to be there for each other, be supportive, give to each other emotionally, not be so anxious around money. On those days, you will notice that you're not feeling very financially restricted. On the days that you may be having an off day with your partner, you will notice that on those days, the mind goes frantically towards financial solutions. Would this be correct?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much,
yes.
Christina, because the thing is, love and money because of the energies of today, they're not the same thing, but because of the way that we have lived the last 100 years, the energies of love and money become interchangeable. On the days that we feel loved, nobody's thinking about the money. On the days we don't feel loved, we're all thinking about the money. So tell me something, Christina, like with Amy, is the problem really money, or is the problem that there wasn't enough love?
Oh, it's absolutely love. There was no love, no affection, no caring, no gratitude. There wasn't anything.
If I had to sum that up in one word, what do you think that word could be? Would it be rejection? Would it be unloved? Would it be unwanted? What would that word be? Could there be a single word to describe this all?
That's a good question. We were just ignored so much. I would say unloved.
All right. Let's see what happens when we give the most basic of the decrees, which is unloved.
Okay.
And you say unloved.
Unloved.
You can leave now.
You can leave now.
I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Tell me what reaction you're having, if any.
I feel a lot leaving from my heart chakra. It's a lot easier for me to breathe.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm going to give you another 30 seconds. By the way, if we were doing this on our call together, you'd have gotten 5 minutes, and there would have been a whole bunch of people practicing the exact same thing. So can you imagine how much deeper and faster we would be working through them? And as it is, it takes just about 10 seconds. And then when we do it in a group, everything is just multiplied that many times over. Tell me how you're feeling now.
A lot better. I can feel the energy in my face, and I know that's my center point of energy moving around my body.
Excellent. I feel like something in one of the bridges in the nose also opened up.
Oh, yes. That is true. Mhm.
Super.
Yes.
Normally,
my nose is tingling.
Nice. So normally we would give this a little more time before going on to the next decree, but because this is part of our demonstration, would you like to go to the next one and see what happens?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to take unloved, and I'm going to take it at 100 trillion. Is there another number coming to you between 0 to 100 trillion?
I see 75 trillion.
And we will go with 75 trillion. So you're going to say, unloved.
Unloved.
You can leave now.
You can leave now.
75 trillion times.
75 trillion times.
Oh, wow. What just happened?
I don't know. I just went into a daze for a second there. I think I might have left my body and came back.
I saw, you may have, because I just saw, I saw you become this column of light, like you didn't exist for a moment. Like there was this whoosh, and this column of light showed up where you are. That was extraordinary. That was wonderfully done. And by the way, and this would be the Severn Elder Mothers, just rushing in, like so delighted at being set free. It was incredible to see that, and I'm so glad you felt it. It
felt very
wonderful.
powerful. Yeah. No, that was amazing. Thank you so much.
Not at all. That was fabulous. And in fact, since we've done that, why don't we go to the third one and have a sense of completion around this? What do you say?
And I just want to say quickly, I detect a very, very definite change in your energy and in even your audio, the way you're talking. There's a definite change.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty incredible right now.
And with many, many thanks for the Severn Elder Mothers, because this is their potential, my girl. This is their potential that you are experiencing, the potential that they could not fulfill, and they're asking you now to fulfill. Let's give it the other one, and then I'm going to use.
Can I quickly just let you know that we are 4 minutes away from the call ending? We didn't even realize that it was. Is it possible to perhaps carry this on our Facebook group later, Nidhu? Maybe people can just come and join you on that, because I still need to announce your gift.
Absolutely. So Christina, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you, love. Yeah, that was so powerful. Thank you, my dear. And we'll just carry this forward in our Facebook group. Gretchen will start the thread, and we'll just get this done over there. Wow, it's just been so amazing. So let me quickly get to the gift link here. Okay. All right. So guys, get ready. Remember, there are no spaces, no caps. This is all in small letters. Okay. This is your free gift, which is the 6 Myths of Healing, a.k.a. the Little Big Book of Change. It is a PDF. It is a nano book that is crucial for everybody on the healing journey. These myths are judgments that could be hampering our healing, and clearly explain the 6 spheres of change too. It is a tool that should be with every healer and healee. The link is fhtjoy.com/gift918. I'll repeat it. F as in Frank, H as in Henry, T as in Tom, J as in Jack, O as in Orange, Y as in Yellow. fhtjoy.com / the word gift and the numbers 918. Enjoy. It's awesome. Also want to remind you that this amazing package is available at orderjoynow.com / Nidhu, Nidhu, and the number 17. This is where you can really change the story around money and love in your life, and really, really in a powerful way, and heal not only your own issues with mother or your issues as a mother or the mother energy, but do it for 7 generations backwards and forwards. That's powerful stuff. Nidhu, before we let you go, honey, tell us if you have something to say to our listeners, any words of wisdom you want to share with them, especially with the ones that have very little hope because they've gone through so much.
I want to say that the 7 Elder Mothers want you to get everything you want. That everything that you have gone through has just been a measure of the potential of what it is that could happen for you. The more unloved you've been till now, that is your potential for the kind of love that is possible in your life. So the more the financial restrictions and limitations you've been through, that's your potential to have that kind of money. The life that you seek, the life that you've been dreaming of, which is a sum total of all the dreams of the 7 elder mothers. They want you to live it, and they will support you in every way possible to bring down the defenses of the gatekeeper, which is your own mother, and they will make it possible for you to have this. The last step to healing, because the journey after this becomes slightly different. It has to do then with us and God, and not so much taking care of the materialness of life. But the last stage of the healing journey is this journey with the mother. If you've already gone through so much, go through a little bit more, and go through it with a bunch of people who are just absolute bravehearts, and somebody called them walking miracles. Go through it with them. They've been there. They know how it feels. They will support you. They will love you. They will have your back. Join us as we move forward, because the last thing I want to say is that when I first began the inner parenting work, it was a 50-hour workshop. When I did it the second time around, it took me about 28 hours. The last time I did it, in about 4 hours, everybody picked up the baton and ran with it. It astounded me, but I understood something. I understood that those who come before make it easier for those who are coming after. The 7 elder mothers have already gone through enough. You've already gone through enough. But if you are a mother, it is your duty to make it easier for your children and for your children's children. It's your duty to be the elder millennial. Please join me and other elder millennials, and let's go ahead, upwards and onwards together.
Beautiful. And how could you say no to such a beautiful, profound request? Because you're not only going to be doing this healing for yourself, but your children, your generations. But remember that we are all connected. You're going to be doing this healing for the planet. This is the time for the divine feminine to rise. This is all coming together now. This is how we help the divine feminine energy to rise again on the planet, because that is what our planet, who, by the way, is Mother Earth. Wow, another connection. Yes. That is what our mother really needs from us, is to bring that peace back by bringing up the divine feminine energy. So do your part, please. In whatever way that you can, it could be that you jump into this healing with Nidhu, which, by the way, is still at a really awesome 20% discount. Or maybe you share this, do your part by sharing this information, share this replay with as many people as you can, because there's some profound healings in this replay as well. Guys, you've been just so awesome. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for your support, and thank you for helping us in spreading this message. Many of you share these replays. Every single replay we do, it's shared on social media by so many people, and it's astounding to me how quickly our community is growing because of that. So thank you for doing your part. I appreciate you. Nidhu, you are just beyond words awesome, my dear. You're just amazing. So thank you so much. I love, love, love what you have brought to our attention today, and I know that this deserved more time, and hopefully we're going to be able to do that this week. We might be able to have some more time, but thank you so much. I'm honored. This was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Lots of love
lots and
to
lots
everybody.
Of love here.
Yeah, and I don't even know if this is being recorded. Yes, thank you. And I don't even know if this is still being recorded because the webcast ended. So, guys, lots of love. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.